Hi folks, it's about 1:30, July 2nd, Tuesday, 81 degrees out here. My batteries are charged and my lens is steaming up already. This camera's becoming a pain in the butt. How's that? See that? So what am I up to today? What I did is I dug through the hoard and I dug up this engine that was complete. I wanted to put a complete engine on this thing, one that I could actually ride, one with a shifter, wasn't welded, you know, all ready to go. The head bolts were good. As a matter of fact, I lost a little plastic bag I had that I put a brand new one in there. It's smoking a little bit because it's been sitting around, and you know, I finally started it up. I wanted to warm it up before I change the oil. Get it running. Yeah, got a little chooch coming out of it there. But that's probably because the oil's crap and everything has to reseat. So, yeah, I just choked it out. Anyway, that's what I did. This engine is the one. Let's see, which engine is that? That's the one that was on there, but the head bolts are screwy. That's the one with the ultra high compression, but she won't pop over. I think the intake valve's no good. And that guy in the back, this was the one on the bike that came out from underneath the deck. That is rock solid seized. I've tried a couple of times to get her loose, and she ain't coming loose. I mean, I basically, you know, I put as much stress on it as I could. You know, both the basket and the bolt, and it wasn't turning. So if I put much more on there, I'm going to end up breaking something, which gives me more trouble. So I'm going to have to stop there, and you know, take it apart. Probably tap the cylinder down, use a wooden block, and you know, support it. Put a couple of blocks between the jug here and the case, and you tap down, and then you can pick it up a little bit more. You can lift the jug and the cylinder up a little bit more, put bigger blocks in there, tap the cylinder down more, and keep doing that until you get the thing out of there. So that's probably what's going to become of that. This guy here I got to pull the head off of and see what its story is. So there's that one. Whilst I was downstairs looking around for parts, I needed intake manifold for this engine. This engine came without this little manifold guy, this little black guy here. So this was off an eBay engine. I bought this engine quite a while ago, and you could see the intake valve is not there. And if you look through, I'm not sure how well this is going to come out. Let's hope it comes out. Yeah, I think you guys could see it. If you look into that guide area, you can see that the guide is cracked. And what happened is this engine had a fresh rebuild, and I'm not sure if they didn't do the valve retainers properly, those two little things that clip on top of the valve, then they kind of settle in here. I don't know if they didn't do these properly, right? You guys can see my finger, or what the story is, but she dropped the valve, and the valve got hammered by the piston, and you could see it broke the guide. What is it, D.W. Morgan up there, upstate New York, up Saratoga way. He dropped the valve in a 200X, and I was kind of quizzing him on it to see what it looked like, because that's what I would have anticipated, that crack in the valve guide. That's my experience with him, and I was able to shoot a photo of it. Anyway, but he got rid of the bike, so it doesn't matter. He, as a matter of fact, he did very, very well with that transaction. The young man's quite the wheeler dealer there. All right, so I got this thing running. I'm going to take her out for a ride, see how she is. Meanwhile, the gas is, for whatever reason, the carburetor must have screwed up, because the gas is dripping out all over the place. Wants to blow itself up. So I got to clean that up first. This is one of those China carbs, and I'm not quite sure. I've noticed this thing dripping a couple of times, so I'm not quite sure what its basic problem is. They must make crap over there in China too. Alright folks, so this was my big accomplishment today. Yeah, I feel like I'm not getting anything done, but then on the other hand, for the days I've been off, I did a brake job on a Corolla. I sold a 2000 Kia Cephia, which is not trivial, because I had to empty the thing out first, get it started, get it running, get the battery charged. I'd had a flat tire, so I had to put the donut spare on it. You know, it was quite a little deal to get that thing ready to roll. And by the way, my friend got it home. He called me, all was good with that, so that's a good thing. So I took care of that deal. I figured out that motor runs and just needs some exhaust work. Figured out that motor runs, maybe smokes a little bit, but you know, some people are hung up about smoky engines. I mean, if I could take it out and ride it a couple of dozen times, you know, put, you know, 20, 30, 40, 50 miles on it, and it holds a full crankcase of oil, I'm not all that hung up about it smoking a little. Some people really hang up about that stuff. You know, if anything, a little bit of smoke kind of announces my comings and goings, and it also keeps the bugs at bay. This time of year in the Hudson Valley, the mosquitoes and so forth are truly a pest. So it helps out with them, especially on damp days. Once it gets if it's going to rain, you know, thunderstorm or whatever, and it gets dark out, and you're out riding, the mosquitoes become a real pest. I'm sure it's like that everywhere, but here particularly, it could be annoying. All right, folks. So I'm going to let you all go. My big accomplishment for the day, putting a real motor on a real bike and doing the exhaust and getting her all ready to ride. That was my big accomplishment, and my thank you for doing that is the bike just pissed the floor. Right, dumped gasoline on the floor for me. So there's my thank you for my accomplishment. There's my the bike thanked me by wee-weeing on the floor for me. Okay, folks, live, love, and have a great time. We'll catch you on the next episode of The Horde. In the meantime, tires down, handlebars up, and that goes for you too, Don Juan. We don't want to see you break anything important out there. Take care now, guys.